Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Manchester Film Festival.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for coming.
Lovely to be here.
How are you finding Manchester so far?
It's slightly wet at the minute, but but apart from that, it's very vibrant and bustling. And
You must be fairly used to wet. I should
yes,
hope.
well, in Ireland, it's wet all the time. And
Famously.
actually, we were away with the film in California, and I was like, "Great, I'm going to get sun," and then it literally rained the whole time.
Oh, you took it with you.
It's just a thing. I bring it with me. That's the vibe I give off. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Gorgeous. So you're here with your film Aontas. Do you want to introduce us a little bit to the film?
Yeah, it's a heist movie about three women who rob a rural credit union. And to make it a little bit different, the film runs backwards. So it starts at the aftermath of the heist, then you see the heist, and it runs backwards to find out why these three women are doing the thing they're doing.
Did you always intend for the film to run backwards? Was that kind of the concept at the beginning, or did you find that during the process?
It wasn't. This is my second film, and there's always a moment when you've made your first where you're like, well, what do I want to do next? Yeah. And so I sat down and, I was kind of deciding what type of genre I wanted to make. Yeah. And I love heist movies. Yeah. So I sort of early on, that's the first thing I had in mind, a heist movie. And of course, you start doing research as to how heists work, and how you would rob a bank and things like that.
A bit of a suspicious Google search history. Exactly.
Don't check what I've been googling. Yeah. But I went home, to a town I live in Ireland, to see my parents, and I said to them, look, the credit union in town, because I had a fair idea I wanted to do it in a credit union as opposed to a bank, because of the themes about community that it would bring up. And I said to my parents, has the credit union in town ever been robbed? And they were saying, are you joking? It was robbed all the time in the 80s and 90s. So I was asking, exactly, yeah. And my mum said then, she said, when I worked in the credit union, it was robbed once. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you worked in a credit union. Yeah. So of course I get into how does it work, how does the safe work and all that. Yeah. And she said to me, if I was going to do it, here's how I would do it. Now, my mum's 4'10", very unassuming. And so immediately I sort of thought, oh, the interesting thing isn't how someone would rob a bank, but why they would do it. And so normally in a heist movie, you start with the why, they need the money or whatever it is, and you build the how. Yeah. And so I thought if you flip the script on that, it might be interesting. You start with how, what they did and how they did it, and you're building the why someone like my mum would rob a bank. Yeah. So that's the backwards thing came out of that. Approach to how I might tell the story.
Did you then find that really difficult in kind of the script writing process
to kind of? It was awful.
To drop enough things like as you go.
It was hateful because I was like, why has no one ever done this before? It's such a great. There are a few examples of backwards, chronology films, but it's only when you start writing it that you're like, oh, this is why people don't do it, because you have to think of the story chronologically forwards in your head, but you have to write it backwards because that's the way it'll be watched. So you have the film in both ways in your head at all times. Yeah. And my wife, Sarah Gordon, who's the co-writer, spoiler alert, she's my wife, she was pregnant at the time. Right. And every day we'd be like, should we write it forwards and turn it backwards, or should we write it backwards? Right. And every day we would have that conversation. To the extent that when I was pregnant at the time, that we were joking that the baby would come out and go, just write the thing backwards or write it forwards. I don't care, but decide amongst yourselves and do it.
I suppose the other distinctive thing about this film for many audiences will be that the film's in Irish, completely in Irish, apart from two words. Yes. We decided earlier, embezzlement and fraud or something that. Did you kind of make an active decision to make your films in Irish, or was that kind of like the natural place for you to start from?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a documentary background. I've been a doc director for 17, 18 years, and everything I've ever done has been in the Irish language. I'm an Irish speaker. It's important to me. Also, there's a movement of Irish language films the last while. There was on Callian Cuan a few years ago, The Quiet Girl, which was nominated for an Oscar, Kneecap last year. There's definitely a buzz about it, and it's exciting because when I made my first film, which was an Irish language film, I'd only ever seen 2 films ever in Irish in a cinema before, and so there was something about watching my own and it being the third that I felt was exciting and important, and I kind of want to add to that conversation. This is the first heist movie that's ever been made in Irish. Probably it might be the last.
You just have that come up as a little thing you are about to see.
But everything's a first for us, because it hasn't been done before, and that's exciting, and that it's hard enough to get yourself out to make a movie. Sometimes you have to have a why in order to get yourself out the door, you know, because there's no money in it, you know, and it's not enjoyable all the time. But there's something about the importance of it being in the language and it being a first that kind of gets you out the door and gets you doing it.
Yeah. Why did you decide to move away from documentary? I didn't realise you were a documentarian.
I still do make docs, but I had always wanted to make drama, and to a certain extent, I made the docs for a long time because that was a way that I would eventually get into drama. But when I started making the docs, as I say, Irish language drama wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So it was always with the anticipation that if I keep doing the docs, someday it will come along.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. But I don't always see a difference in the two. Like, you've still got a crew, you've still got a story to tell. You know, you still have your story beats, you still have story structure. The only difference is on doc there's 5 of yous, and on drama there's 7 of yous. And well, I suppose that's a major difference, actually.
I suppose you can kind of see that as well in kind of some of the more socially conscious aspects of the film as it goes on.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope that there's a different take on character and also the type of normal people that are featured. Or it's a kind of heist movie's a grand idea, but it's very normal people behind it. It's rooted in a very realistic village, a very realistic town in Ireland, and even the idea of it being a credit union. It's not Heat. Do you know what I mean? It's not a major heist movie. It's not a big LA bank. It's a local credit union.
Ocean's One.
Yeah, Ocean's One.
Lakes.
Yeah. And so, more like Lake 11.
Lake 11,
yeah. And so that's, I guess some of that maybe does come through, and the approach to how you talk to actors, maybe some of that does become a thing, but yeah.
And just finally, for now, what are you hoping that people in the cinema kind of take away today? How they feel, or what their, a message?
I mean, I hope they enjoy it. It's
built.
Yeah,
You'd
for a start,
hope so.
that's my only, aspiration.
Hopefully they're awake at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully they're still there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I hope it's built to be entertaining for people. The backwards thing is built that you can kind of watch it and it keeps you engaged. I mean, also, we talked about the Irish language element to it. Some people, this will be the first time they've ever heard Irish.
Yeah, guilty.
Well, there you go. That's exciting for me, and they'll leave with one Irish word. Aontas,
yeah, pobble.
And pobble.
Yeah.
And 2 English words, embezzlement and fraud.
Embezzlement and fraud, yeah.
So I hope they see this and they might be happy to take a punt on another Irish language film as well. That would be it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming down and for taking the time to talk to us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.